When we talk about speaking life into your body, we have to begin by understanding the incredible power that words hold. Not just metaphorically, but literally. Words are vibrations. They carry frequency, intention, and direction. Every time you speak, you are setting something in motion. You are either releasing energy that builds, heals, and strengthens, or energy that weakens, limits, and destroys. That's not poetry, that's principle. Even science, in its quest to measure the unseen, has begun to acknowledge what faith has declared for centuries, that thought and speech affect physiology. Studies in neuroscience and psycholinguistics show that words can change the way our brains process stress, pain, and emotion. The body responds to verbal cues, both external and internal. When you tell yourself, "I'm exhausted," your nervous system accepts it as truth and begins to reinforce that state. But when you declare, "How I'm restoring my energy," you redirect the mind's attention and invite the body to cooperate with that new reality. That's the mystery and the mastery of language. It bridges the unseen world of thought and the tangible world of form. Every time you open your mouth, you are giving your thoughts permission to take shape. And if that's true, then what you say about your body, your health, your future, matters far more than you might think. Kenneth E. Hagin often emphasized that faith is released through words. You can believe something deeply, but it's the act of speaking it that gives it authority in your life. Faith unspoken remains potential. Faith spoken becomes power. The moment you align your words with life, you authorize your body to respond to that command. Think of that. The same voice that can tear you down can also build you up, cell by cell, thought by thought. Too many people speak death over themselves without realizing it. They say things like, "I'm getting old," "My back is killing me," or "I always get sick this time of year." And they think they're being honest or realistic. But truth and realism aren't always the same thing. What you call reality may just be a reflection of the words you've been repeating for years. You have to be careful not to confuse what's familiar with what's true. Now, I'm not talking about denying what exists. If your body is in pain, you don't pretend it isn't. But you also don't surrender your authority to that pain. You speak beyond it. You declare life in the middle of discomfort. That's not self-deception. It's self-direction. You're choosing to lead your body instead of letting your body lead you. Words are the instruments of the mind. They set the rhythm of your inner world. Every complaint, every confession, every declaration is like striking a key on a piano. The music that follows is determined by what you play. And just as a musician must learn to choose notes with intention, you must learn to choose your words with wisdom. The more you do, the more you'll notice that your body begins to align with the harmony of your speech. You see, the body is a faithful servant. It listens, it obeys, but it cannot distinguish between truth and falsehood. It only knows what it's told repeatedly. So if you keep telling it that you're weak, tired, or broken, it will find ways to prove you right. Yet if you tell it, "I am strong, I am healing, I am full of life," your body will begin to reorganize itself around those affirmations. Not overnight, perhaps, but certainly over time. Because repetition is how belief becomes biology. This is why Scripture tells us death and life are in the power of the tongue. It's not a poetic exaggeration. It's a statement of universal law. You can't sow words of decay and expect a harvest of vitality. You can't speak fear and expect peace. The language of your life determines the landscape of your health. And until you take authority over your speech, you'll never take full authority over your body. So, I challenge you to start listening to yourself. Catch those casual phrases you say out of habit. Pay attention to what comes out when you're frustrated or tired. And then, gently but firmly, correct it. Replace complaint with declaration. Replace despair with faith. Speak life not as wishful thinking, but as deliberate creation. Because every word you speak is a seed, and your body is the soil. Whatever you plant with your mouth, you will eventually feel in your flesh. Reprogramming your inner dialogue is one of the most profound acts of self-mastery you can undertake. Most people never realize how much of their suffering is reinforced, not by what happens to them, but by what they keep saying to themselves about what happens. The body listens, the mind records, and the spirit responds. Your words form the script of your inner world, and that script runs quietly in the background, shaping your moods, your habits, and even your health. You see, the most powerful conversations you'll ever have are the ones no one hears. It's that quiet, constant dialogue within, the one that says, I can't handle this. I'm always behind. Something's wrong with me. Those words become instructions to your subconscious, and your subconscious doesn't argue. It doesn't question. It simply obeys. The moment you say, I can't, it begins shutting down options. The moment you say, I'm not enough, it starts scanning the environment for evidence to confirm it. What you speak internally becomes the atmosphere you live in. And if that atmosphere is heavy with self, criticism, fear, and doubt, your body begins to mirror that weight. Shoulders slump, breath shortens, energy drains. But if that inner conversation is filled with direction, faith, and self-compassion, your body begins to align with strength, stability, and renewal. That's the incredible feedback loop between the inner and outer worlds. Your body becomes the messenger of your mind. Kenneth E. Hagin used to say that you can't rise above the level of your confession. You may have faith, potential, even divine purpose. But if your words contradict it, you short-circuit the power flowing through you. You can't speak defeat and live in victory. You can't declare weakness and walk in strength. The tongue is small, but it steers the entire course of your life, just as a rudder directs a massive ship. Reprogramming your inner dialogue begins with awareness. You can't change what you don't recognize. Start paying attention to your self-talk, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Notice the automatic phrases that escape your lips when you're under stress. Notice the tone you use when you talk about yourself. Many people speak to themselves in a way they would never speak to another human being. They call themselves lazy, stupid, unworthy, and then wonder why their confidence fades. Once you become aware, the next step is to intervene. This isn't about pretending or covering up pain with positive phrases. It's about retraining your mind to speak truth that aligns with life, not limitation. So instead of saying, I'm tired of struggling, say, I'm learning to grow stronger through challenges. Instead of, nothing ever works for me, say, I'm learning what does work. These are small shifts in language, but they carry enormous spiritual and psychological weight. Your mind is like a garden. Every word is a seed. The weeds are the automatic thoughts that choke your peace, the complaints, the fears, the comparisons. But when you deliberately plant new seeds of affirmation, you start transforming the soil. At first, those new thoughts feel unnatural, like you're forcing them. But if you stay consistent, they begin to take root. Consistency is what converts affirmation into conviction. And here's something most people overlook. Your inner dialogue doesn't have to match your outer circumstances. You might be facing illness, fatigue, or financial struggle, but that doesn't mean your words have to agree with those conditions. You can speak healing in the middle of sickness, abundance in the middle of lack, strength in the middle of weakness. The purpose of reprogramming your inner speech isn't to deny reality. It's to call forth a higher one. It's to speak from the truth of who you are becoming, not from the evidence of what you see. Faith always speaks from the unseen. It declares what will be while the natural world still says it's not yet. That's how transformation begins. Inside, with language that calls the body and mind into alignment with vision. The inner voice becomes a compass, pointing you toward healing and wholeness, even when the external path seems uncertain. Over time, you'll notice something subtle yet profound. The tone of your mind will shift. The tension in your body will ease. You'll begin to sense harmony where there used to be inner conflict. That's not magic. It's the natural result of restoring agreement between your words and your worth. Because when your self-talk changes, your self-concept changes. And when your self-concept changes, your behavior follows. You must remember this truth. You cannot outlive your confession. Life moves in the direction of your most dominant thoughts and words. So stop rehearsing what you fear and start declaring what you desire. Stop repeating old scripts of limitation and start writing new ones of possibility. Because your words are architects and your mind is the construction site. Every sentence you speak lays another brick in the house you'll eventually live in. The connection between mind, body, and spirit is one of the most profound realities of human existence. Yet, it is also one of the most neglected. Many people live divided within themselves, thinking one thing, feeling another, and doing yet another. The result is internal conflict, and that conflict inevitably finds its way into the body. Every cell in you listens to the language of your inner life. When the mind is anxious, the body tightens. When the spirit is weary, the body weakens. When the heart is at peace, the body heals. This is not theory. It is truth observed across time, tradition, and science alike. You are not just a physical being. You are a spiritual being expressing yourself through a body and guided by a mind. When these three parts work in harmony, you experience vitality. When they are in disunity, you experience dis-ease, literally a lack of ease. Modern medicine often focuses only on treating the body, yet the body is often just the messenger. It reveals the state of your inner world. A tense body often points to a tense mind. Chronic fatigue may reflect a drained spirit. Healing, therefore, requires more than medicine. It requires alignment. Kenneth E. Hagin taught that the Word of God brings life not only to the soul, but also to the flesh. That's because the Word renews the mind and lifts the spirit. And when those are renewed, the body follows. It's all one continuous flow of life moving through different expressions. Think of yourself as a conduit. The spirit generates the energy, the mind directs it, and the body manifests it. When the mind is full of fear or resentment, it constricts that flow. When the spirit is anchored in peace and gratitude, it releases it. Philosophically speaking, the body is the instrument through which the mind and spirit play their music. If the player is distracted, the tune is distorted. But when the inner world is ordered, when thought, belief, and intention are in agreement, the body becomes a clear channel of life. This is why speaking life into your body matters. Words are the way you tune yourself. You use language to bring your mind and spirit into agreement, and that agreement restores harmony to the body. You see, healing is not always about addition. It's often about removal. It's about clearing away the mental noise, the emotional clutter, and the spiritual resistance that block life from flowing freely through you. You were designed for wholeness. The body has an innate intelligence to repair and renew itself, but it needs the cooperation of your mind and the permission of your spirit. When your words carry life, you give that permission consciously. You remind your body that it is safe, that it is loved, that it is capable of restoring balance. There's a growing body of research in psychosomatic medicine showing that emotions like gratitude, joy, and forgiveness strengthen the immune system, while chronic anger, fear, and shame weaken it. But what activates those emotions most consistently? The thoughts you entertain and the words you speak. Your language shapes your emotional climate. If you constantly speak words of worry, your body lives in tension. If you speak words of faith and peace, your body finds its rhythm again. It's remarkable how the simple act of changing what you say can shift how you feel. When you begin to declare life, when you say, "My body is strong, my mind is clear, my spirit is at peace," you are not ignoring reality, you are elevating it. You are calling forth alignment between the seen and the unseen. You are allowing your mind to agree with your spirit, and your body begins to follow that lead. This is the divine order of creation. Spirit speaks, mind interprets, body obeys. Many people live the other way around. They let the body dictate the mind, and the mind suppress the spirit. They feel tired, so they think tired thoughts, and those thoughts disconnect them from the life, giving energy of the spirit. But when you reverse the flow, when you let your spirit lead, you step into a completely different experience of being alive. The same energy that made you can sustain you, if only you align your inner world to receive it. The harmony between mind, body, and spirit is not a distant ideal. It's a choice renewed daily through awareness and speech. When you speak words of life, you are tuning your entire being back into coherence. You are saying to your mind, "Be still," to your body, "Be strong," and to your spirit, "Lead on." And when those three parts of you march in the same direction, nothing outside of you can easily throw you off course. That's why it's so vital to guard your inner atmosphere. Every thought is a vibration, every word a current. When you speak in alignment with truth, your whole being resonates with it. You become a vessel of life, not just surviving, but radiating vitality. So if you want your body to be whole, start by reconciling your inner world. Let your mind agree with your spirit, and your spirit speak through your words. Because when the three are one, life flows unhindered. And wherever life flows freely, healing follows. If you truly want to speak life into your body, It must become more than a moment of inspiration. It has to become a lifestyle. You cannot plant the seed of life with your words one day and uproot it with negativity the next. Speaking life is not something you do occasionally when you feel strong. It's something you practice consistently until it becomes your natural state of being. The goal is to make every word, every thought, and every response an intentional act of agreement with life, not limitation. Think about it like tending a garden. You can't just plant once and walk away. You must water, nurture, and protect what you've planted. Your words are those daily drops of water. They nourish the seeds of health, peace, and strength within you. And if you neglect them, if you allow complaint, fear, or doubt to creep in, you starve that inner garden. Speaking life intentionally means deciding every single day to use your voice as an instrument of healing. This practice starts the moment you wake up. The first words you speak each morning set the tone for the rest of your day. Most people start by complaining before their feet even touch the floor. I'm so tired. I don't want to go to work. I can't do this again. What they don't realize is that those words are programming their entire system to expect exhaustion, frustration, and resistance. But imagine if your first words were different. Imagine if, before saying anything else, you declared, "Today I am strong. Today I walk in peace. Today my body supports me with energy and clarity." That one shift reorients your mind toward gratitude and primes your body to cooperate with strength instead of fatigue. Kenneth E. Hagin often said that faith must be acted upon for it to work. The same is true here. Your words are the first act of faith. When you speak life, even before you feel it, you are demonstrating trust that life will rise to meet your words. That's not denial, it's direction. You're telling your body where to go, instead of letting circumstances dictate how you feel. Throughout your day, opportunities to speak life are everywhere. When you're facing stress, instead of saying, "This is too much for me," say, "I am equipped to handle this with grace." When you feel pain or fatigue, instead of giving it authority with words like, "It's getting worse," speak to your body directly, "I am healing. My strength is being renewed right now." The point isn't to pretend that nothing is wrong, but to call your body back into alignment with health and wholeness. You're not ignoring the storm. You're commanding peace in the middle of it. And this isn't limited to your private speech. It also extends to the company you keep and the conversations you allow around you. Words spoken in your presence shape your inner environment just as surely as your own do. Surround yourself with people who speak life, those who encourage uplift and see the best in you. If you constantly listen to complaint and cynicism, it will start to infect your thinking, and eventually your body will feel that weight. Choose to be around voices that reinforce faith, not fear. At night, before you sleep, close the loop of your day with gratitude. Your final words before rest should be words of life, because they echo in your subconscious as you sleep. Thank your body for carrying you, your mind for learning, and your spirit for leading. Declare peace before you rest, and you'll begin to notice that your body repairs itself more efficiently when your final thoughts are life, giving rather than anxious. Now, it's important to understand, consistency is what gives this practice power. You cannot transform your inner world with a single affirmation. but you can transform it with persistence. The mind and body learn through repetition. What you repeat becomes what you believe, and what you believe becomes what you embody. So when you commit to speaking life daily, morning, noon, and night, you are training your entire being to live in agreement with vitality. The challenge is not to speak life when things are good. That's easy. The challenge is to keep speaking life when things look impossible. When your body aches, when your heart is heavy, when the world feels dark. That's when your words become the most powerful, because that's when they are born of faith rather than feeling. The voice of life is never loud or frantic. It's steady, consistent, unwavering. It speaks not from circumstance, but from conviction. You see, speaking life into your body isn't about creating a fantasy. It's about choosing your focus, directing your energy, at establishing authority over your own internal world. It's the daily decision to align what you say with what you desire until your body begins to live out the words you've sown. So begin now. Start small if you have to. Speak life when you wake up. Speak life when you feel weary. Speak life when you look in the mirror. Speak life over your health, your mind, your purpose. And watch how, over time, your words begin to transform not just your outlook, but your very physiology.